Hello, let's get you on Facebook now. So you know that time I don't know how I just got logged out. Yay, I remember the password. All right. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Welcome, everyone. I hope there's someone coming in here. Come on, come on, come on in the room. Okay, so let's get back to this. Okay. I look like I took a nap today. Probably because I did. And I just threw on a shirt because I was cold in my t-shirt. So in case you don't know it, it's winter right now. The 3 months a year that we have for the summer back in the East Coast is the 3 months of the year that's winter here. And I know it's not the same kind of winter, but I feel it like it's winter nonetheless. So welcome everyone who's here. If you're here, just say you're ready for it. If you're here, just say you're ready for it. Let me just do this really. Here, just say you're ready for it. Let me just do this really. How do I hear? Just say I didn't mean to do that. Let me need to turn this down. I actually just want to tag people. Goodness gracious. Okay, hold on, let's try this. Okay, I don't know how to tag people using that, so let's just go back to what we know. And let's tag people this way. Okay. Here we go. Finally, why did it do that? Okay, so welcome to everyone, whether you're live or coming in a little bit later. My name is Vuyanzi Rodman or Coach Vuyanzi, and I am a transformational coach, transformational life coach, and I help Black women leaders to make career transitions with ease. Tonight, our topic is really the first in a series called 3 Keys to Master Work-Life Harmony, Rethinking Work-Life Balance. I want to give a shout out to one of our members, Latasha, who's in the group, who made a suggestion that we do this. And basically she said like something around work-life balance. And then the question was, is there even such a thing? Short answer is no, there's no such thing. Series over. Like, just kidding. I'm not going to do it that way, but let's really begin to rethink this. Now, tonight's key is actually, tonight's first key of the 3 keys is the Symphony of Harmony, redefining work-life balance. So it's the Symphony of Harmony, redefining work-life balance. Oh my gosh, there's so much I can say about this, But today I really want to lay a foundation, and I really want you to be thinking. If you're watching this kind of passively, I encourage you to pick up your phone or any note-taking device, because I really want you to be thinking during this, not to walk away feeling good and forget everything I say, Queen, but instead to really be thinking, how does this apply to my life? What can I do to make it apply to my life? Because really the goal of this series called 3 Keys to Master Work-Life Harmony, Rethinking Work-Life Balance, is to help you be free to become. The goal of this series is to help you to be free to become. So that means whether your harmony is swimming upstream when everyone's swimming downstream, going up when everyone's going down, or even if you want to swim with everyone else as they go and go up with everyone else, that you are in harmony and you are free to become who it is that you are becoming in your life as it pertains to your purpose. So I'm going to state the obvious here because it's necessary. Harmony in one area of your life, harmony in this area of your life, work-life harmony, it will impact all areas of your life. If you could get this one area right for you, because there is no formula for this, you can positively impact all of the areas in your life. So, Queen, as much as we say that we're okay in this area of work life, right? I scroll through Facebook and Instagram, and I see different posts that may be alluding to saying, oh, we're, working smarter, not harder, doing this. And it alludes to the illusion of work-life harmony, right? Or balance. Let me just call it balance for a moment. It alludes to the illusion that we've gotten it right. But the thing is, the truth is we are not okay. And I don't need to run any market research to know this. Why? Because if we weren't okay in this thing called work-life balance, this topic would be out the door. But I can say in my 5 years of coaching, I have been talking on this to audiences for at least 4 of those years. For at least 4 of those years. Like brought in to talk to audiences about that corporately, organizations, groups, just groups who bring people together. So we're not okay as far as work-life balance. And one of the things is I want to say to you, rid yourself of the word balance. That's the key tonight. Again, tonight's key is the Symphony of Harmony, redefining work-life balance. Well, we're redefining it like this. Write balance on the paper and cross it off. When we think of balance, many of us, I'd love to ask you, what picture do you get in your mind when you think of balance? For me, I see a scale, one of those old-fashioned scales. And if anyone knows the name of that scale, where it's like this. And when I think of balance, that's always the picture that comes to my mind, that somehow work and life is supposed to look like this. But what does your life entail? There's you. Some of you might have children. Some of you have aging parents. You have a career. Many of you are starting businesses as well as doing a career. Many of you have businesses, small businesses, that you are the army of you, right? The army of one, solopreneur, so to speak. And you have all these things that tug at you, but somehow in society, You have been told, and I don't care how much we say we have not been influenced by society, Queen, that part is a lie. The truth is not in that. We have been, because we are human, and our subconscious minds have been soaking up things since we were in the third trimester of our mother's womb. So there are certain ideas and certain things in the back of your mind that you're not even realizing that have you questioning, well, and what is this thing? How do I achieve this thing of work-life balance? If you're trying to achieve this, you've come to the wrong live tonight, and I bid you farewell. But Queen, if you're here saying, you know what? I know that picturing work-life balance like this isn't right, and I feel so off when I try to do that. That's exactly what you should feel, because whose life looks like that? And then the other part of it is thinking about the influences, right? So first of all, we're getting rid of the word balance. And now let's think about the influence. So it's getting rid of the word balance, right? Where we can call it work-life alignment. So let's replace that word of balance with work-life alignment. You should write that word down and circle it. The second part of this is influence. Queen, you are a Black woman. And I want you to think about how impactful TV might have been. Now, maybe some of you say, well, I never watched TV, but I know, however, okay, and that's fine. So maybe this next part doesn't apply to you. However, I was a TV watcher, and I'm not talking cable. Cable was a luxury when I was growing up. In fact, the TV really was a luxury, because I grew up with my grandparents who never watched TV. They just bought it for me because I was in the house. My grandparents grew up with radio, so that was their thing. However, I want us to even consider how media influenced how we think about how we're supposed to be as Black women, subconsciously. So first I think about the earlier era where I used to watch repeats of shows, reruns of shows that had happened in the 70s. So in the 80s, I'm watching shows from the 70s. So there weren't a lot of shows that featured Black women, but just two come to mind. And the shows that I used to watch on rerun a lot were What's Happening. If you know What's Happening, let me know that you watched What's Happening. And the other one was Good Times, which, sidebar, even as a kid, I did not like that show. But anyway, my sisters watched it, so I wound up watching it a lot. Let's think about those Black women as you're little, watching these Black women. If you watched What's Happening, the mom who was not on there regularly, her character was played by Mabel King. I don't even remember what her real name was. They used to call her Mama. That's all I remember them saying. Mabel King's character, when she came on, was always tired and out of breath. A part of it could have been that she was obese, but she was tired. She was tired. That's why Roger was watching D a lot. You can tell I watched a lot of TV, but follow me here. This is someone who many of you may have been watching, just after school, you turn on channel 5, it was for me, and watching the reruns of this tired, out of breath Black woman who's come home from cleaning people's houses. So already there's some thought happening from this. It doesn't matter that you're seeing on the TV. It doesn't matter that you may have known it was fiction, but there's thoughts in your mind that you didn't even realize that you were formulating about what this thing was and how this looked, career and family and life and what it looked like. Let's go to Good Times. Keeping your head above water, make any way that you can. Even the theme song itself, right? I mean, we'll put that to the side. Florida, Now, that was the mom. I don't remember her working, but she just seemed just kind of frustrated from life. You know, yes, she'd smile every once in a while when James came home before they killed off his character. But the thing is, she was kind of frustrated. She was tired. She had all those grown ass kids living in that one apartment. This is what we saw. What came? Listen, we're talking about influence, not now, but influence that has been in our brain subconsciously for years, 20, 30, 40 plus years in your mind, and you may not even be conscious of it when you're thinking about this fallacy of work-life balance. No, it's work-life alignment, but some of us, you know, in those older shows grew up seeing tired Black women. Then maybe later on, who comes, right? Later on, the Cosby Show. I know that we've canceled Bill Cosby, but the reality is many of us saw Claire Huxtable and it was like, Claire Huxtable, she's a lawyer and she has 5 kids and somehow she's beautiful and thriving and diva. And we ate that up. But how far off did that seem after even all those other influences? Who else? What else did we watch? You know, Family Matters. The mom seemed to be always kind of, I don't know, she seemed to not simply be at rest. She seemed not to just be at rest. And then what do we see about balance then? She's carrying a lot because her husband seemed to, I mean, we know he worked, but it just didn't, I'm sorry, it was kind of buffoonery. That's it. I'm sorry if you don't like me saying that. And we're seeing these characters. So yes, while it was before social media, the media had an influence over your thought process of what this work life really is and what it should be. Because if it didn't, even today, we wouldn't be questioning it, whether or not it's right or it's wrong, or are we balanced? And even thinking about even thinking about that, you know, we hear this thing, you can have it all, but can you have it all? I don't know. Today is, I want you to think, can you have it all? The answer might possibly be yes, but what does that look like when we are practicing? Because it's a practice of work-life alignment. So let's keep going on with this for a moment. So we have all these influences. So first, number one is redefining that work-life balance, get rid of that. And now let's call it work-life alignment, because it's about what aligns to you and your spirit. The second thing is think about how deeply impacted as a kid that you deeply impacted that you've been as a kid from the media influences. Now, whether it's, we're really talking about syncing and harmony. To you, you have to think about consciously, not about all these other influences, but you need to begin consciously to think about, number one, what do I believe? So I would encourage you to, when you're looking at this later on, to come back and number one, ask yourself, what do I really believe about this thing called work-life, changing the name, work-life alignment, or number one, what have I believed about work-life balance? Number two, what do I want to believe about work-life alignment in my life? So number one, what have I believed about work-life balance? And number two, what do I want to truly believe about work-life alignment in my life today. And then I want you to, thirdly, this may take a little bit longer, and you might have to sit with this a couple of days, but what have been the underlying influences in what I've believed? What have been the underlying influences of what it is that I have believed? Now, that's your assignment, and then I want you to consider this. Consider this, 524,600 minutes, 524,000 moments to plan, 524,600 minutes. How do you measure a year in the life? That's from the play Rent, but that's how many minutes there are in a year, 524,600 minutes in a year. You know, there's 52 weeks in a year. So, but let's look at it by minutes. And now let's shrink this, that in a week, you have 10,080 minutes. 10,080 minutes. Now, of course, you have to deduct time for sleep. But I want you to consciously think about what would be aligned with what you really want in terms of how you spend those minutes. How could those 10,080 minutes per week that you have on this earth be spent when it comes to work-life alignment? Let's get kind of, in an ideal way, having understood what has driven your beliefs. Now I want you to see it of how it could be. Just, kind of divvy that out a little bit and see what you come up with. I'd love for you to bring it back. Kind of take this as homework. This is a teaching. This is definitely more of a teaching live, and I want you to think about that. So you have your assignments, you have the questions, you have breaking down those minutes, 10,080 minutes. Don't forget, you have to subtract for sleep. I like my 7 to 8 to 9 hours sleep. And yes, absolutely, I do. Deduct for proper sleep for you. And I want you to be free in knowing that what you consider work-life alignment today may absolutely change in 524,600 minutes. Next year, it may change according to what it is that you value in your life. So there you have it. 23 minutes. Okay, we're done here. Write down your comments of what you're thinking right here. And what I'll say to you is, if you're ready to have support as far as work-life alignment, as you begin to make your career transition, Queen, then hit me up in the DMs and we can spend 30 minutes together strategizing. Okay, I will talk to all of you soon. Mwah, Queen. I love you so much. Take care.